Women of Reddit, what's something every girl should know but is rarely taught? Your vaginal discharge is slightly acidic to help kill off bacteria. That's why your underwear may gradually get little holes forming in the gusset. Edit. To say may, as many have you pointed out, we're all different and will have different experiences of this, staining, etc. If a doctor quickly dismisses your extreme menstrual pain, or any type of pain for that matter, as being normal, or that you're too sensitive, try to seek a second opinion. My normal pain turned out to be endometriosis. My mom told me to suck it up. Everyone hurts during their period. Taking ibuprofen kept my body from learning how to deal with discomfort. No, mom, it was stage 4 endometriosis. It was so bad my internal organs were fused together. Thousands of companies exist with the sole purpose of making you feel insecure about some bullshit non-issue, then selling you a made-up solution. Don't give these people your money. Acquire more house plants instead. Lumps in your breasts are not always cancer. Of course, getting them checked out. But it is common to find cysts in your breasts. Found a lump in my breast, freaked out, searched Google, freaked out more. Stewed for months, booked an appointment with my OBGYN only for him to tell me, yeah, it's a cyst. Stop messing with it. It's common. Do not stew for months. Go to the doctor ASAP. Ladies, when you go for a smear test or pap smear for my American gals, they guess the size of the instrument, the speculum, they need to use on you based on your height. It shouldn't be painful. You can ask for a smaller one if it hurts. They just don't offer that info out. It's pretty normal to have some level of diarrhea, weird poops when you're on your period. Sorry, it's a thing. But if you're reading this, I'm glad you don't need to get to like 30 before finding out it isn't just you like I did. Also, vulvas and breasts come in a wide variety of configurations. The range of normal is huge. Please do not rely on any pop culture depictions to decide if what you've got is normal. Financial planning. You can't and shouldn't depend on Prince Charming to rescue you. That where you are in your menstrual cycle can affect your immune system. Ovulation. Lower immune system. Reasoning for it is to try to promote a pregnancy. Your immune system basically knows what's you and what isn't you and will attack what isn't you. Sperm isn't you. A zygote embryo is half you, half not you, and might get attacked. It's why your skin may look better while you're ovulating, and it's why pregnant women are immunosuppressed. Period is equal to strong immune system. It may be why you feel like crap before you get your period, and why all those pimples pop up. Your body is now fighting off crap that your ovulation period lets slip through, including pimples. We have no control over this. That's the part that kills me. We have zero control. How to wash genitals. Many women have gotten infections due to not knowing how to wash themselves. Like fragrant soaps or douching is obviously bad but not taught very often. Just because there is another female present doesn't mean you are automatically safe. Women can be predators too. How to negotiate a pay raise, higher salary, etc. Too many of us, girls and boys, are not taught how to advocate for ourselves and know our worth to employers. Last time I was offered a promotion at a corporate job, they were all, oh boy, and you'll get a $2 an hour raise. I said I'd call them back shortly. Did the math. With the amount of commissions I got on top of my hourly, they'd have to give me a $3 a raise just to match my average pay. Not to mention, the raise needed to cover my new responsibilities. I called back and told them as much, and said I'd take a $6 per hour raise to start, and if the store numbers went up in the first month by 10%, I'd take another $2 after 30 days, and we could renegotiate after 90 days of the promotion depending on store numbers. They said they couldn't do that, so I said I'd stay in my current position. They called back within 5 minutes and agreed. I said I'd wait on the paperwork confirming it, and wouldn't you know it, it worked. You do not have to take care of everyone around you. Older men don't want to date you because you are so mature. They want to date you because you aren't yet. It's okay if you're not into or aren't overly fond babies or newborns. Added to that, people will have opinions about your decision as to whether or not you would like to have children, particularly if you do not want them. It's okay to ignore these opinions. It's okay to not want children. It's also okay to want children, or to not know if you want them. You do not owe anyone a child. You have two types of exocrine glands in your vaginal vestibule. They secrete clear fluid but can become impacted, swollen, and very painful. When referring to the part of your genitalia that is not within your body, the vulva is the external part and includes labia minora and majora. While the vestibule is internal, your urethra is a tiny hole within the vestibule where you urinate out of, and the vagina is the opening to the vaginal canal, which leads to the cervix. They are not the same hole, which is why you can still pee while wearing a tampon. It breaks my heart when women do not know their own anatomy, and few schools teach it thoroughly. There is no shame in doing a pregnancy test. In fact, if something is weird with your hormones or body that you haven't experienced much before, it's always better to do a test just to be sure. Even if it's unlikely you are pregnant. If there is any likelihood at all, just do the test and be sure. I heard of it so many times at this point that even fully grown women hesitate, sometimes for weeks, to do a test, and it can land you in hot waters. Besides, it is agony to have that creeping doubt. Every contraceptive can fail, and it's much better to know early and have all the options. On that same note, cheap pregnancy tests work exactly the same and are just as effective as expensive pregnancy tests. I keep a multi-pack of cheap stick tests just to be sure. Honestly, sewing and altering clothes, not for gendered reasons, but because our clothes oftentimes fit irregularly. A size 12 in one brand will fit completely differently from a size 12 in a different brand. Also, you can learn to sew larger pockets into your pants. A baby won't fix a relationship. Having a baby to tie up a man, it's a very bad idea. Pregnancy can damage your body very badly. Men can also baby trap you. Take action and yourself at first priority. If your gut is telling you that a group is making you uncomfortable, excuse yourself accordingly and don't underestimate your gut. If you think your period has started and/or leaked, don't wait and check. Road trip and need to use the restroom? Due to our lack of water pistols, please stop at a gas station. Also, just a note, your tummy will look different throughout the day. Usually it gets larger and smaller post-meal and from various gas amounts. It's okay, they're made to protect organs anyway. They don't have to be as flat as a door. I'm 16 weeks postpartum. I have just today learned that while my hips and ribs stretched during pregnancy to accommodate for a growing baby and childbirth, they may never ever go back to their normal size. Society puts a lot of pressure on moms to bounce back from pregnancy. How do you reconfigure your literal bone structure? I gained a half a shoe size in length and my feet are now wider than before I got pregnant. It's totally normal, but not something that is mentioned. Your vulva won't smell like flowers and it doesn't mean it's not clean or healthy. And you're not supposed to wash the inside of it. Your body cleans it itself. Guys, I don't mean smelly vaginas. If your vagina has an unpleasant, strong odor and/or green-brownish discharge, you should see a doctor. I'm referring to natural smell, which is not flowers and soap. Not a woman, but I'm part of a support group for people who are hurting from breakups or something else. Please, please, ladies, remember this. Just because a person doesn't put hands on you, that doesn't mean they aren't abusive. Abuse is control, manipulation, blatant disrespect, and also hurtful words. Don't settle for emotional and mental abuse thinking it's okay because it's not physical. I've had too many conversations with mostly women and girls who were in or just gotten out of an abusive relationship. Please learn to recognize the signs. Get help or get yourself out of the situation. You deserve so much better. How to really learn, understand, and value the concept of what you want out of life. I think so many children and teens could benefit. From my mother, never believe what a man tells you when he's hard. If you're being assaulted by a man, be prepared to fight if you can't run or call for help. Leave as many marks as possible, bite the motherfucker, and scratch him with your nails to leave your DNA on him, and also collect it as evidence. If he pushes you against the ground, be prepared to grab his testicles and twist it. I know that it sounds like a joke, but it could save your life. Learning to fight while being attacked is the second worst time to learn. Get self-defense training. It's also good exercise and can be a fun way to get some movement in. Adult videos often depict very unrealistic scenarios when it comes to women. The boys you're growing up with are watching it and might be developing some unhealthy ideas as to how to treat women when being sexual together. So when you start having intercourse, just remember that you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with just because someone wants you to. I remember reading on Reddit a middle school teacher who overheard two girls talking about how they hate being slapped or having their hair yanked while giving BJ. The girls pretty much had accepted that this was part of the process and would just be something they put up with for the rest of their lives. Not only do you get to say no whenever you want, you also get to say yes when you want. Don't let society teach you that you need to act shy or play games in order to be desirable. As a society, in order to stand our ground that no means no, women must also be willing to express when it's a yes. Do not engage with pushy men. If you are setting a boundary and a man tries to push against it, no matter the means, persistent asking, persuasion, pressuring, guilt-tripping, emotional blackmail, begging, whining, he cannot be trusted. He might use his physical superiority in moments when you are vulnerable to get what he wants. Example, when you're naked and in bed together. If you are telling a man you are not okay with something or do not want to do something, any other reaction than him saying okay is a red flag. Queefs happen. It can suck and be embarrassing, but they happen. Human bodies can be weird no matter their gender. Life gets much easier if you learn to laugh about it, or at least not get upset about it. Pregnancy is not all glow, weird cravings, morning sickness, and painting nurseries like television wants you to think. There are so many other awful symptoms that may or may not show up. It's like spinning a wheel and getting a handful of different symptoms every time. It's crazy hard on the body. Your body changes profoundly, and sometimes you're left with chronic issues. No one talks about this. I think every woman should know this before family planning. My experience was par for the course. Slight fracture in pelvis and PPD, but worse than what I thought. After talking to other moms, it's terrifying what stories come out of the woodwork. Mothers that almost died from birth complications in my immediate family. Oh, your cousin's elbow ripped my internal organs on the way out. I almost bled to death. When I asked the generation of mothers before me why they didn't tell the next generation these sort of things, you get, oh, well, I didn't want to scare them off having kids. It's crazy. It's knowledge. I still would have had my son because I wanted a child, but it would have been nice to know just how much I was putting on the line. You can turn off the water supply if your toilet is overflowing. See if your toilet has a little knob around it. On several occasions, I've managed to twist it just in time. Chores, household tasks, and appliances should not be gendered. Things that are typically aimed at boys: changing tires or oil in a car, using tools around the house. There is an unbelievable satisfaction in being able to say to a man, "No, it's fine, I know how to do it." That you may not love your baby when they're born. Not only that, that's so common, it's a version of normal. Not everyone gets that undying love at first sight, and that's okay. It's okay if you need some time to get to know this brand new, tiny person in your life to love them. Just keep taking good care of them. Love grows. You just have to give it a chance. This is specifically for children, not dating. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, press the like button, and don't forget to watch our other videos.